Guys, Marsegan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a proper look at the Dark Mask King. You've seen me use him in some of the runs already. If you've checked out the no item runs versus Sin and Fusion Zamasu, you will see that this guy can go absolutely ham. We'll look at that sticker effect as well, so great. Very, very good EZA for this guy right here. So he has a hero's leader skill of 3 key 130. Leader skills for most of these guys, apart from the headline, is not really important, but his super attack is raise defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack and defense. So good super attack effects. If the enemies can be debuffed, then that is useful as well. And then his passive, key +2, attack and defense 150. He gets an additional defense 150 for 5 turns after receiving an attack. Then he gets an additional attack 50% with each attack received up to 150. Additional defense 100% and guards all attacks when there is another Dragon Ball Heroes ally in the same turn. Recovers 10% damage dealt as HP. Now this guy was one of the few Heroes units, especially from when he released, that kind of was hanging in there before his EZA, because guard is obviously a very powerful mechanic. And healing based on the damage that you do is pretty good, but his damage pre-EZA wasn't particularly great. So one of the things I was quite surprised to see with his EZA is them giving him that attack up with each attack received. That allows him to get up to some actually relatively good attack stats. So his kit is actually just really, really strong. The only weakness he does have is obviously the first hit he has to take to then get the defensive buff. If he was to take a super as like the first attack of the turn, then obviously he's going to take quite a bit of extra damage. But with the guard and the defense that he does have, even against some of the toughest bosses, even physical, he can survive those attacks, even if it is just barely. And then he supers back, and especially if he crits, you end up getting like a full heal. So I actually think he is the ideal slot 1 unit for like the perfect build for a Heroes team, especially if you're going for like a full extreme build, if you want to take advantage of some of the units from the previous years that need to have extreme allies. I think he's very, very strong. So obviously mine's full level 10 links. For his build, I just left him with the level 5 dodge because his defense is so good. And then he has a mix of additional and crit, because again, you want him to crit so he's healing more with the attack. And then obviously, ideally, if he doesn't get a crit, he might get an additional, and even an additional normal. He's dealing 10% of the damage that he does, regardless of what it is. So if he does an additional normal attack and it crits, you can still get a decent chunk of HP back from that as well. So we're going to jump into a couple of events. Like I said, I've already tried him out in some of the toughest ones, but we're just going to take him into some of the events now so we can see some rotations and see him in action. Okay, so we've got him here against the Metal Cooler army. Unfortunately, he wasn't on turn 1. I didn't want to use up too many of my attempts, like resetting or anything for this, because obviously I'm doing the Heroes versus the World Mega Stream Subathon thing later, where we take on every single event in the game. So obviously I needed to have attempts left for Metal Cooler Core. I mean, the thing is, if I'm building the most optimal team for Heroes to do these stages for the Subathon, realistically, I only need the 1 attempt, right? Because the best build of the Heroes team is going to be more than good enough. But you can see here, tanks everything for double-digit damage, 6.2 on the super. I forgot the Metal Cooler army can be attack lowered as well. So post-super attack, what is he taking here? Yeah, double digits. Because the thing about Dark Mask King, I feel like the only time he's going to be in a situation where you're not getting the optimal use out of him is if he takes a bunch of normals, or like 1 or 2 normals in slot 1. Then he attacks. You're basically on full HP anyway, so he heals you back up to full. And then either he takes a super and actually takes some damage. Because I guess if the enemy, like if we're talking like, you know, physical Fusion Zamasu, post super attack, even after having taken a normal to get his defense buff for the turn, he is still going to take some damage from Fusion Zamasu. Now, he does have guard, which of course helps, but ideally the way you want the turn to play out is obviously him getting the heal to essentially restock the health that you've lost on the turn. It's one of those funny things where some of the hardest events in the game now can prove to be the most difficult, because the enemies not only hit you so hard, but are very often super attacking you in slot 1. And I kind of feel like one of the reasons why the Dark Mask King is so good is he's like a hard counter to those bosses, because he can survive even a super from Fusion Zamasu in slot 1, and then it's as long as you get the crit, because against a physical enemy, obviously damage is going to be nerfed if you're type disadvantage and you're not critting. But he gets a crit on that super that he claps back at Zamasu, and you go back up to full health. So those of you will have seen, I put up the video last night of doing the Heroes versus Fusion Zamasu no item run, and the Dark Mask King was an absolute goat in that event. So when we do the run on the Mega Stream later, I probably will use him. I feel like he's one of my go-to units for the team. Like I mentioned this in the podcast episode last night, where I was basically saying, like, when I build the Heroes team, if I want to build my most optimal team, I'm probably putting on Limit Breaker Vegito and Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I'm putting on Rose because I really like Rose, and then I'm putting on Dark Mask King. Like, if I wanted to build the best version of the team for almost any event, I'm probably putting him on there. So, hopefully... Actually, what is your passive? Is it on when attacking or on super? Oh, it's when attacking. Okay, fine. So that means it doesn't actually matter that he's sealed, which is good here. I'm hoping that Dark Mask King gets super attacked in slot 1. Hey, there we go. He dodged. My goat. The funny thing is, when talking about his build, I guess, is mine only has the 5 dodge. Because he is so good defensively, he can tank these big boss super attacks. But then ideally, you want him to, like, counter that back by then healing you. So you want him to have crit, and you kind of want him to have additional as well, right? Because even if he doesn't crit on the super, if he then gets an additional super, that's going to kind of make up for it a little bit, and you are going to get a lot of healing back during the turn. So I actually didn't give him any extra dodge. He only has the 5 dodge from being an int unit. So it's kind of funny that he dodged that super, but I mean, realistically, for the sake of the video, I actually wanted him to get hit by it so we could see how much damage he would take, and then of course how much damage he could heal us back with the super. But I suppose it is what it is. We always got next turn, as long as we don't go too crazy on this turn. But we got full power Rose out here. Now the only downside I will say to the Dark Mask King using him on this team, on this setup, is that when it comes to his best linking partners, so his best link partner is the AGL Black Mask Saiyan, but he kind of sucks. Like, I don't know why they gave Dark Mask King such a good EZA and then fumbled his one so badly. And then when you look at like Heroes units after that link well with him, there's Super Saiyan 4 Gohan randomly as a 4 link partner, but he's obviously built around being on a team with other Super Saiyan 4s. And then yeah, you keep scrolling down, there's not many Heroes units. He shares 3 links with the new Vegeta, but he's kind of bad. Super Saiyan 4 Bardock, but again, he wants to be run with Super Saiyan 4 allies. So it's kind of interesting. Like, he can do well without having a load of links active, so it's not like it really matters too much. But obviously it doesn't help the people next to him. Like, they need to get their links active. However, the good sort of like counteract to that is that I feel like he's a perfect slot 1 unit for the team. So if he's in slot 1, even if he only has like prepared for battle active, he can still be really good. And then the unit in slot 2 is getting extra links from the unit in slot 3, so it doesn't really matter too much. It is a shame that the Black Mask Saiyan wasn't very good, because the rotation of them two together would be great. They share 6 links. And then an interesting one for the future, because I believe he'll get his EZA next year, is the Super Saiyan Xeno Vegeta, the one that is the Vegeta family support unit. They share 3 links, and then obviously that Vegeta is giving support to Vegeta family. So the 2 of them together as a rotation could be kind of interesting if that Xeno Vegeta gets a good enough EZA to be run on main rotation. Because if he doesn't, he's kind of a unit that, unless they bring out some new good Vegeta family units next year when he gets his EZA, it's kind of like the Heroes team doesn't really need him on it if, you know, there's no other Vegeta family units for him to support outside of the Dark Mask King. So, a little bit unfortunate. I just realised as well, we got the heal from Toa. So, our boy, look at this, start of turn, 684k defense with guard. Let's see what we do here. Of course, Rose doesn't have a ton of links active now either, but he's got the Toa buff. The friend is not fully link leveled though, sadly. Well, I just realised as well, of course, Toa's not going to get her dodge chance because we were below 50% HP at the start of the turn. But there you go. Big attack stat. We get the crit. We get an additional normal as well. He just takes everything for double-digit damage. And then Rose, of course, only having prepared for battle active, not going to be going as crazy as we would expect. I mean, I wanted to try and focus on Dark Mask King here, so the rest of the team, obviously, not quite in the right element. I think I actually bought the wrong team as well, but as I said, I didn't want to use up too many attempts on this before the stream later. So we'll jump into a different event now as well, just to get another viewing of him. I might bring the Dark Mask... Oh, cool, we're going to die now anyway. I'll bring Black Mask Saiyan just so we can see what his numbers are looking like with him next to him. But it's going to be kind of rough running him. So let's jump into another event. Okay, so we're in the Goku Black Red Zone stage. I feel like this is one of the ones where the Black Mask Saiyan has the least opportunity to sell, at least right at the beginning, because he does have type advantage. So we can see linked up with him, we have Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Shattering the Limit. They do share Berserker as a link, but of course it's only activated when your HP is at a certain amount. So that means he's starting the turn at 233. Remember that, of course, he is going to be getting 150% after he receives that first attack. So that's what, like another 350k at least that he gets when he gets hit, on top of having guard. And of course, if the first attack is a super, we should survive it thanks to the guard and then heal. So hopefully, I'm kind of hoping that is what happens here, but we'll see how the turn plays out. So let's do this, and then let's see what we get here. So he doesn't get supered, takes 100k from a normal, and then 4 million attack stat. We don't get the crit. We didn't get to see the HP. 6.5 for the Black Mask Saiyan. He gets the crit. Yeah, we're back to 4 HP. So 6.5, then 6.8. Black Mask Saiyan is just, unfortunately, very disappointing. Like, doing a couple of attacks that have a relatively decent attack stat is fine, but then he has no, like, defensive tech after that. So he has the potential to get hit incredibly hard, especially if the enemy is going to super attack. Not really what you want. I want to make sure we do get one more really good turn here for the Dark Mask King. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the Yema here. I did the same thing because he was on turn 2 previously. So go ahead and do this. I wouldn't normally put Fu in slot 1, but even with the Yema, I don't really want Rose getting super attacked here in slot 1. Fu will now, of course, have the 50% chance to dodge. And he didn't super anyway, so... But that's the thing, it's fine to lose a little bit of HP. That's the other great thing about having Dark Mask King on the opposite rotation, is it's not just the fact that he'll heal back the damage that he takes, but obviously if he doesn't end up taking that much damage, like on the previous turn where he just eats a couple of normals, if you've gone into that turn having lost HP on the previous turn, then he's just going to heal all of that back for you. So, right, what do you take? Oh, well, you got the item active. This will be double digits, right? Yeah. Yeah, Rose post super, his defense is very high and he has guard. So that is useful because Toa's post super stats are relatively good. So with the, yeah, I was going to say with an item active, she's not going to take damage here either. So very, very good. Shame there's only like the one attack. And I was kind of hoping that, as these stages often do, Rose was kind of just going to go, well, Goku Black, I should say. Rose's the next phase, so maybe he will. I was kind of expecting Goku Black to just go ham on us here in slot 1, but I mean, the numbers don't lie, right? Dark Mask King is a very, very strong unit. I'm so torn because, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is really, really good, really powerful, the physical one, right? And the fact that he juices up the Limit Breaker Vegito so much is obviously incredibly valuable, but I am almost tempted to say that Dark Mask King is the best EZA from, like, the Heroes batch of units, right? Because Vegito, you don't need to run him with other Super Saiyan 4s, I guess, but that's how you get the best performance out of him, and he'll have, like, Saiyan Raw and stuff like that. He's providing support to those characters, crossover and Giant 8 power, whereas the Dark Mask King, you just throw him on, like, any team, and he's going to be good, right? So I think what I do here, this could be very cheeky of me and I could end up dying, but I'm going to do this because I want to get the... I want Janemba to get hit a couple more times. So if I do this... Oh wait, he gets the extra key from Fu anyway, doesn't he? Will he kill Goku Black here? Yeah. I suppose it doesn't matter, because to be fair, Janemba's guard is about to run out, and then he'd just get clapped by Rose anyway. I just wanted us to survive long enough that we could see Dark Mask King like doing his things, right? So let's do this. Now, this is a risky setup because Black Marseillan is obviously not particularly great, but this is a kind of strategy that you could use on this turn where Black Marseillan might take a lot of damage. Now, we are taking a risk because if he gets supered, I think he actually just straight up dies, but he could take a decent chunk of damage from this normal attack from Rosé, and then Dark Mask King would heal us all of that damage back. So it is a risky play. Like I say, if I was running like the optimal team and I was just bringing a team into this event to beat it like as decisively as possible, I would not be bringing the Black Marseillan. But let's see what damage is he actually going to take here from Rosé. He takes double digits from the normal, so that's fine. The biggest problem is just the lack of defensive tech, right? So if that was a super there from Rosé, we'd just be dead, which is obviously not what we want. Apparently he's just not going to super at the beginning. It's so weird jumping into this stage in particular. I was like, oh, this will be a good stage for the Dark Mask King because Rosé super attacks you in slot 1 so often. And then not only did he not super in slot 1, he supered at the end, which Toa dodged, but then she didn't dodge any of his normals for 436k. But anyway, there you go. Dark Mask King, absolutely fantastic. I'm tempted to call him the best heroes EZA. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.